Kia ora koutou. Welcome back to Big Hairy News Friday edition, Bright Hairy News with myself and Magenta. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm not too bad. I'm just glad that I technically have some voice, even if it sounds
Oh,
horrible. I've not actually been physically able to talk other than whisper for basically since probably last Saturday.
oh
I had to,
no.
I was able to get Aotearoa tonight to actually just speak. And yeah, so I'm just glad that there's something here.
You poor child. You
Yeah,
have echo cancellation on. I'm going to turn it off because I think you're getting cut in and out because you're so quiet. Is that
uh,
okay?
yeah, go for it.
Okay, let's see if that helps. You poor thing. I don't want you yelling. I can yell,
No.
but I don't want you yelling.
To be fair,
Um,
it's like this is actually me the loudest I've been here in this week. It's rough.
no. Well, let's see how we go. We can let the news do the talking.
Right?
I'm sure everyone will enjoy that. Yeah,
How's
it's
your
been
weekend
a
though? Busy?
it's been another week. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Yeah, I suppose.
Oh yeah,
I
you're
suppose I was doing.
and for Pat, weren't you? That's right.
I
Especially two was
was
sick.
filling in for Pat, and he
Fucking
was
we're all
sick.
getting
So.
it. It'll be your turn soon if you're not careful.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, no, that was good. Always like hanging out with Chewie. He always has lots of interesting things to say. Not to say this is not anything on you, Magenta. I'm just saying it's just Chewie as an individual.
It's Chewy. I love when Chewy. Like the one time that I got to do was it me, Chewy, and Detective Rogers. Oh, such a good time. Such a good time.
I
It's
can
nice to
imagine.
change it up.
I just realized I'm having some weird stuff. I'm gonna have to turn down the TV in the other room. I think it's pulling through on my mic. We're having some technical funsies.
Huh?
Let me know if you can hear it. I don't know, my mic's doing weird things. I'm just watching Little Bar and it's like, I'm not speaking. What's going on?
Yeah.
Anyways, how are we all doing, chat? Did you have a wonderful week? Anything exciting happen for you guys? I'm sure there was plenty to be upset about. Yeah, you had finance minister stuff. We had US stuff. We had the Ukrainian stuff. We had so much stuff happening. But I found some genuinely good political news today, which I'm very excited, which was two Labour members' bills that passed.
Yes,
So we can have a
right.
quick look at
did
those.
see that.
Yes. And then mostly, other than that, just bad news.
Yeah, it's not good out here.
Yeah, just the same old in politics. So, lots to be, good stuff. All right. Well, shall we have a look at the week that was, Magenta?
Yes.
Would you like to
Yes.
give us the week that was in memes?
Also, people say I sound muffled. It might just be that this is how my voice sounds because it does sound like shit. So we'll see how it goes. I'll try to hold this bloody mic. Who cares? I fucking laughed my ass off at this one, especially just the way they perfectly put her face onto the original meme. Just 10 out of 10. Obviously.
Oh, someone says it's coming through your headphone mic, not your.
Oh, has it changed?
That would make more sense. That might be what it was. Oh, are you?
Oh, I think I know what happened. I think when you turn my echo cancellation off, it just decided to reset the fucking microphone. Nice. Cool. I'm going to put this down.
Oh. Yay, that's better.
Yeah, that was so weird.
There we
Thank
go.
you to whoever figured that out. You're the G. I love this one too. I saw this earlier today. Get in, loser. We're suing the government. Did you see the CTU post today?
No.
Oh, I got some stuff to show you then. We had Erica Stanford's Unconfusing Guide to New Zealand Birds. We got bird, Bird is the word. I said, bird. Bird is the word. Sorry. Obviously, Christopher Luxon getting us back on track with record unemployment, homelessness, borrowing, departures, and record debt. Yay! New Zealand minister ecstatic with new toy as other kids go hungry. And just Judith with your fucking helicopter toy. Tsunami alert after massive quake in Kamchatka. Tsunami alert after massive quake in Jake's Passage. Which I'm glad someone made this meme because I definitely thought of him. I also made this meme from last night's show, I think it was. So we got Mrs. Chewie. I bet he's thinking about other women. What he's thinking about. God, that speech from Kieran was electric. Imagine if Chloe had come in for the finisher speech. So, yeah. It was so good. So fucking good. And that's really been the week so far in the roundup. But obviously, we got more memes. Memes for later.
Memes for days. Memes for Fridays.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. Very,
Right.
very well rounded up.
Easy breezy.
Our first was, you want to talk about tariffs? Do you want to talk about tariffs?
I guess
Do we really
we
wanna
could
talk
get
about
Trump
tariffs?
out of the way if we have to talk about him at all.
Yeah, Nikki. So I mean, it's
Oh,
2 for
God.
1, right?
Fuck
Get
me.
rid of the two. of
Because
them.
I've
You know
also
what?
got some David Seymour for us later, so it's going to be a rough night.
Oh no!
I think
well,
my voice
before
is kind of encapsulating what the news is at the moment. It's rough.
I think before we do that, we should probably say thanks to
Ooh,
les patrons, who help basically pay for the show, help us do this every Friday, keep the lights on. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, you can at patreon.com/BigHairyNews. Big thank you to everyone who's already on there. We are currently sitting at 465 members. Nice. Not doing too
close to
bad.
500, guys.
Yeah, we've been inching very slowly towards 500, but I know a few patrons throughout the year have upped their donations,
yes.
up their patronage, which we really appreciate. But if you do want to join us, you can get sneak peeks, you get pre-recorded interviews early. Look at Torifano looking hot. And every month there is a Patreon meetup as well, virtual, online, that you can join. Or if you would like to, you can go to bhnshop.nz. No, bhnshop.nz, sorry, for our merchandise to support us as well, which you get you can get the Nikki Nobots, you get Chewy Foo-Foos, you can get the boys. Got currently the what color would you call that? Rust?
Yeah,
and a green.
rust.
The Tino Rangatira Tanga.
I love that green. It's such a good
Hoodies.
green.
It's a nice green.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice green. Do you have that green, don't you? Did you get a green?
No, but I was I
Oh.
was semi-wondering about maybe seeing if Pat would put the four of us on a green one for me. Because
Oh, I never
I
thought
think
of
that would
that.
look pretty nice behind all of us.
They would look so much better, I reckon. Yeah. All right. Let's tell him to do that and see what it looks
Update
like.
the shirts, Pat.
I think that's way better than the green because than the blue because the green's already in there with your beautiful hair, and
Right.
also it will complement the reds and
Exactly.
the.
I think we'll be pretty
much
much a full
nicer.
rainbow at that point.
But no, the blue would be a
minus
full
the
rainbow.
Blue. Yeah, the blue.
We're missing a few colors, but it would still look. It would still
Close
look really
enough.
cool. Oh. Let's pass it on to Pat. Add that to his big long list of things he's got to do.
Right?
And then we've got our textbook list, fuck around and find out, and stickers if anyone is interested in showing their support in other ways. Yeah, fun stuff indeed.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's look at the goings on with tariffs. So the original tariffs that were put on us were only 10%, but they have been announced to be 15% now. I think, from my perspective, just to roll you into this one, I think there's been a lot of. I was literally going to say probably the worst way you could say that. Let's say toe sucking. I can't think of what it is.
Christ, okay.
It's been a lot of toe sucking. Just imagine another word in there because I can't think of what. You know what I mean. You get the analogy. A lot of toe sucking of Trump's toes here in New Zealand to try and to appease the man, to appease his administration, to appease and please do not put tariffs on us because it would bootlicking. Thank you.
Okay, yours
It's
was
the same
so
shit.
much worse. That was woo. Toe sucking and bootlicking. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's the same region of the. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, I don't think it's done shit for us. I think this whole idea of if we, oh hey, come over, Cash Patel, come over here and put a spy agency in the middle of Wellington. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Oh hey, we're transphobic too. Look at us. Look, we can be part of that whole bullshit.
Put
It's
your
done
FBI
nothing.
agents in me, please.
Please, and then don't put tariffs on us. We need you. Yeah, it didn't work, obviously. And now we've sent some people over there. I think Nicola was over in New York. Also bootlicking. She might have been toe sucking. Who knows?
But it's better than pegging, according to MLB Kiwis. So. God, it's gonna be an interesting night, Tano.
It's gonna be one of
Let's strap on.
It's gonna be one of those nights, is it? All right, so let's have a listen to the news and see if we manage to warm up and perhaps lower those tariffs. Probably not.
Not personal. That's how the White House has justified a 15% tariff on New Zealand.
Sorry, let's start again. Not personal. That's what he said.
It's not personal. That's how the White House has justified a 15% tariff on New Zealand goods to our trade envoy. But as Donald Trump celebrates tariffs bringing in billions of dollars for America's government, businesses here and in the States are already feeling the pinch. US correspondent Logan Church has the story.
The tagline for Donald Trump's TV show, "It's nothing personal, it's just business," parroted back to New Zealand's trade officials, sent to query a higher 15% tariff rate.
Our trade envoy was in Washington in the recent days. The American administration have reinforced that they do very much value the New Zealand relationship and that there was nothing.
Sounds like Nikki Novo's also got a bit of a
I
cold.
was about to
Man,
fucking say, she sounds like me. She's definitely
I
got
know.
what
It's like,
I
Magenta,
got.
what are you doing on the
Right?
news?
And ooh, why am I Nicola Willis? What the fuck is happening?
All right. Yeah. Just a small note.
Relationship and that there was nothing personal about this decision.
Instead, the finance minister says New Zealand has been victim of a blunt rule, applied to all nations who exported more to the US.
Therefore, why were we bootlicking? Because it was going to happen regardless. Just saying. Just saying. They didn't have to play into their politics. It wasn't going to make a difference.
No, they just made it easier. They just bent right over. It was like, oh yes, please, take advantage of me.
Nations who exported more to the US than they import.
Some countries that did enter very high-level negotiations actually ended up in a worse position. Switzerland is one example of that. It seems unlikely that the United States would change that blanket rule just because of New Zealand.
Our government backing its softly approach to the Trump administration. Trade and Investment Minister Todd McClay also visiting Washington, D.C. this week for talks.
As soon as those tariffs were announced, New Zealand should have sent their most senior government minister. It's quite clear they just sat on their hands and they walked through the door at 10% and then someone walked out and it's 15%.
But with these tariffs,
I don't know much about international relations and this sort of stuff, but I honestly kind of agree. I kind of disagree actually with Barbara that there was kind of nothing we could have done. But I mean, maybe it could have stayed at 10%. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't think there's anything. We are small. I mean, we're not that small, but we are small, and there are a lot of countries, and they're all feeling it. But I don't know if there's anything we could have done. I think it's just like they just don't give a shit about anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess though that you could also have the argument of like, at least you could have tried, you know, so that even if there was, if that was always going to be the result, at least you can go, well, at least I gave it a fucking go and I did actually try, rather than just roll over and look weak as well, because, you know, Luxon already looks so weak as it is. It's not good, not a good look.
Sure. Let's continue.
But with these tariffs now in place, some of our biggest industries are feeling the pressure, such as red meat, which sends billions of dollars of beef and lamb to the States each year.
When the additional 10% tariffs came on board, you know, it wasn't particularly exciting or pleasing, but we were able to negotiate or find a way to absorb or pass on the additional cost. But with 15%, that's quite a different proposition.
The White House says tariffs have already raised more money this year than in the entirety of 2024. But at the same time, some American businesses say they're starting to see their costs rise dramatically. This beauty store in Philadelphia is one of them.
If we're talking something as small as a bottle of glue, which is a product that I use a lot, we're saying that a price is going from maybe $8 to now $14.99. That's almost double.
The global trading environment continuing to be reshaped. Logan Church, One News, New York.
Yeah, so it's not good times for us. Not good times for anyone. Especially not good times for the US. This is going to, I've seen many a post on social media of people saying this is going to tank their small business. They won't be able to ship things in from out of the, like, supplies and stuff from outside of the US, because they can't buy in bulk enough to offset some of the tariff costs, or the extra costs that they're going to put on to US customers. They won't be able to ship their products outside of the US. There are people here who will get, who have just said blanket, we're not shipping outside of New Zealand, or at least not to the US because we can't afford it. And it would put too much burden on their cost for US customers. So it's going to affect everyone, but I think this is something we've all known is going to happen. And I mean, but it also could change. I mean, Mexico, back and forth, we're putting tariffs on you, we're not putting tariffs on you, we're putting tariffs on you, we're not putting tariffs on you. All of that power play, which is just bullshit. But I think from a moral standpoint, there was far too much bootlicking. There was too much appeasement of the US regime. We had bloody Kash Patel here. There's multiple other examples of that, and I don't think it was worth it. I think we could have just stood our ground and said, we're not doing this. It does affect us. Yes, we're a small country with a small economy, but I think I would prefer we stood on the moral high ground instead of like trying to appease them.
I mean, I don't think we have a government who could do that. Not currently, anyway. Like, our government is so clearly on the side of Trump. It's actually just kind of getting sickening, the amount that they're just seeming to, I guess, not even bootleg, toe suck, because maybe that is more accurate. They're getting in there, they're getting right in between those toes. And it's been concerning for a long time, but it seems to just be amping up like everything else. I mean, it seems like there could have been heaps of things they could have done, but I just personally don't see this government being the ones to do it.
Yeah. There was, speaking of Barbara, I don't think there's much more to say on this, to be fair. But speaking of Barbara Edmonds, she was also in the news this week I think it was probably more of an opinion piece, absolutely slamming Nicola Willis and her. Actually, there was a few pieces. I think it must have been on Stuff. I'll see if I can find them in a second. But there was a few pieces of the from the business community. I mean, obviously, it was the Sunday Star Times, which we talked about on Monday. But then this week as well, with the OCR official cash rate coming down a few basis points, she's all sitting there smug, like, "Oh yes, no, it's going to be great. Your mortgages are going to come down," and we have seen some interest rates come down. But someone went through, I think it was this article with Barbara, but someone went through the report itself, and it was from the Treasury, and they were like, actually, that's like the one and only good thing from this. Everything else, the metrics are shit. The stats are shit. The forecast is shit. And so they're painting me this rosy picture, which it's not. These tariffs definitely aren't going to help.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll find that in a second. I'm going to go and fix the TV because it's pulling through my mic and it's driving me nuts. So do you want to run through some chats or some memes while I go do that?
All right. I mean, I'll go.
We're back. I'll be back in a second.
Sweet ass. We got a Tina Ranson for $5 with late fee. Kia ora, Tina. Thank you for showing up on your Friday night. Mr. Arvids for $2. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait till Ems comes back for this one. That Freudian slip, hey? Do we reckon it was a Freudian slip? I reckon. And also, you guys were making me laugh during this part. Nikki No Throw. That fucking got me. So good. Fucking love it. We got $5 from Kaimatara. New Zealand has its own FBI before Cash Patel, through Luxon failing by incompetence. Yeah. It's... Honestly, I'm just getting depressed that he's our leader. It would just be so nice to have someone in that fucking side of the house that could just do something right. Anything. And yeah, I agree with this one, Sonia. We're like a country prostituting ourselves to, yeah. What are we paying them for? We're just gonna overthrow the government, don't mind us. But I did save one of the questions for you. M's a foot fan confirmed. Suck the polish off them toes. I wonder if anyone will get that reference.
No.
If anyone can get that reference, it's a deep cut on the internet. Nah, I mean, you'd only know if you watch a bunch of really... If you watch like a bunch of really cooked reality shows. You might. I don't know. But we shall, did you want to do a couple memes or jump straight into your next one?
You meme it up for a second. I'm going to find these quotes from Barbara, because I think she did a really good job of slamming Nicola.
Oh, damn. It's getting real kinky tonight, guys. Just got back from the centrist rally. Amazing turnout. Thousands of people holding hands and chanting, "Better things aren't possible." The percentage of children dead in the Ukraine conflict is 0.3%. The percentage of children dead in Gaza conflict is 37.7%. 37.7%. In a single statistic, there you have the difference between a war and a genocide. And then radicalized by basic decency. Because not wanting children to die is apparently woke. Oh, I love this one. I love you, Daddy. What woke shit is this? My dad be like. Fact, we're in the 20s sounds so weird. It's so synonymous with the 1920s. Sounds like a bygone era when women were still fighting for their rights. The upper classes were living a life of hedonism whilst people starved and the world was on the verge of financial ruin and war. Sound familiar, guys? They also had the plague. Well, they had a pandemic back then too.
Yeah, and there's a depression as well. I think it was post-depression. It was mid to late war. Yeah.
I'ma keep it real with you, Chief. The impact of microplastics can't be studied because there's no control group. And that made me really depressed when I read that. So we got really depressing memes this week, but I've got really funny non-meme, like political ones for us because it's rough. Sorry, no living wages. But you just paid the CEO $12 million. It's no living wages. We're allowed to pay one. Last one. A system based on infinite economic growth. A planet with finite resources. And we'll leave it there.
That last one is very poignant because this, what's been getting me to sleep this week has been Second Thought, which is a YouTube channel, which I highly recommend, and Economics Explained, which is an Australian guy who's been, I've been listening to economic theory. Turns out economics is actually kind of interesting. And the other thing that I've learned over the last, couple of months or more, is that economics has nothing to do with mathematics, and it is basically a social science.
Yep.
It's purely ideological. It's purely ideological. You can pick any number of the economic systems. They all work. It just depends on which one you prioritize. It's just whether you prioritize wealth and money and growth and all of this other bullshit, or you prioritize people.
Well. Like, a lot of people who get psychology degrees just end up going into that kind of stuff because when you can understand how people's brains work, you can manipulate them really fucking easily. Evil jobs.
Yeah. But it's been very interesting. I've learned lots of things about, just different economic theories and how they came to be, and which ones will work better for people and which ones will work better for companies. I don't know. It's very interesting. I've learned many things.
Nice.
Basically, Craig Rooney is right. So,
I mean, I've always said that.
Right. Speaking of economics, let's have a quick look at this because I know I slammed Barbara. She's one of our favorites. I just said that I think she's wrong, but I'm gonna gas her back up because she did have a bit of a go at Nicola, which I really appreciated.
Get her.
So there's an article on stuff by good old Lloyd Burr. I think Lloyd Burr is doing a good job of actually being a good journalist. Say I'm wrong, but he's probably the one that I've seen do the best journalism this week. And each time I've seen things, I've been like, good on you. So you might have missed the story yesterday. The economy is still not in a good spot.
Really?
Outshined by OCR cuts. So I'll preface this and I'll jump down to Barbara. So while Nicola Willis is promising things will get better, the current state of the economy is pretty challenging. The RBNZ is highlighting weak demand, rising costs, rising inflation, a soft labour market, and difficult, costly global conditions. Whereas she was saying, she was slamming people for being where is it?
Control F.
Merchant of misery.
Oh yeah, that fucking.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was saying the opposition were merchants of misery, and they were painting a very poor economic outlook, even though the OCR, reduced basis points. That's the only thing that she could point to, by the way. And they very much have a wait and see strategy. So let's see what Barbara Edmonds had to say about this, which she's firing, man. Just I know we have our criticisms of Labour, but Barbara fires, and I fucking love it. Mm-hmm. She's not afraid to throw it back, which is great. So after being Labour's Edmonds returns fire Nicola Willis as a hypocrite. After being called a merchant of misery by Willis yesterday, Labour's Barbara Edmonds is firing back, calling her a hypocrite who is trying to distract from a failed economic growth plan. You lash out if your plan is not going up to speed and people are calling you out for it and holding you account. We'll bring it. This is my job, she says, firing up after in an interview with Stuff. Willis claimed opposition MPs were unpatriotic because of their constant questioning of the coalition government's track record on the economy. I'm always conscious that households listen to merchants of misery every day, most of whom sit on opposition benches, who like to be doomsayers and talk down the New Zealand economy, Willis told reporters yesterday. Edmund says Willis is obviously feeling the pressure. You want the minister, you want to be the Minister of Finance? Then handle the heat that comes from all the different kitchens across the country, because unfortunately they can't even make mince now.
Oh, hell.
Oh,
Damn.
damn.
Sorry about you.
Edmund says, referencing the cost of a ounce. Oh my God, that is ounce?
Once cheap sable. God, what's M's thinking about now, guys? Fucking ounces? Jeez.
I just thought ounce, an ounce of a cheap. A once cheap staple. Referencing someone brought 2 blocks of butter, a kg of mince, and it cost them $78. 2
kgs.
And the mince.
They had
2
packs
kgs
of mince and 2 packs of 2 butters.
Yeah, so
It was like
$78.
$27 a kilo, I think. So basically, for the mince.
Yeah,
so
a
they
kilo.
had 2 packs of $27 mince, and however fucking disgustingly priced the butter was.
Yeah. I'm not just making things up. The numbers are bad, and if she thinks they are made up, it's just a distraction and disconnection she is getting from not being in touch with people. As for Willis's claim that all Labour does is talk down the New Zealand economy, comes with receipts. Edmonds has dug out a quote from a press release Willis wrote on June 15th, 2023, when she was in opposition.
Get her.
Willis said, while the government continued to make excuses, the data did not lie, showing New Zealand was in a worse shape than many other comparable countries, which had faced similar challenges, but none of which faced the toxic economic predicament we now find ourselves in, Willis is quoted as saying at the time. Edmund says it's now rich. Willis is taking exception to the shoe being on the other foot. Sounds like a hypocrite to me.
Yo.
Ooh!
Get him. Get her, Bob.
Damn, she came with receipts.
I mean, Barb's so good though. I like just the way she hits it. Although I do find it ridiculous because where was it somewhere in the beginning about Nicola saying that like they are not going on with what they're questioning the government. That's opposition, unpatriotic. There we go. Yeah, which is ridiculous because that's literally the opposition's whole fucking job. The whole point of their job is to sit on the other side of the house and point out what's wrong. Yeah. So why would you say that makes them unpatriotic? Because they're doing their job. It's unpatriotic because she's like, I don't like what they're saying about me. Everyone's laughing at me, and there's like people with t-shirts and fairies on there of me, and like I'm getting my feelings hurt. Oh, I think someone else got locked out of something as well. I saw on Blue Sky.
Oh, from the lockup that would have been from this last report.
Yes, I believe
the
so.
Treasury lockup, I assume that.
I'm assuming. I didn't end up going through and reading it properly, but I was just like, oh. I just saw it locked out and I was like, hey, great podcast. It's funny though, because I saw a Stuff article that's kind of, it's addressing that. And it's titled, We're Broke, Exhausted, Doing Everything Right, Yet Still Called Merchants of Misery. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yes, I have. That's,
so
the name is Verity?
Verity,
is it?
Yeah, Verity Johnson.
Yes. Verity Johnson. That's a really, really good opinion piece, but basically just like outlays their personal costs of trying to get their business.
Through COVID
it's really good.
and keeping it alive.
Getting through COVID and now just having to like lay everyone off, and like I think she said that she spent $50,000 of her own money to try
to save her business. And then the thing that got me was she said on weeks I can afford to pay myself. So like these are the struggling businesses that are supposed to be helped, yet they're they're literally not even able to pay themselves. Like, it's insane. And just, yeah, it's a really good article, though, because it's bullshit that they're basically going, it's your fault because you're just a piece of shit and you're being negative. It's like, no, there is a lot of shit going on. Life is fucking hard at the moment. I mean, the shopping bills alone. I don't buy butter because I haven't bought proper butter in years. But if even people who normally buy butter can't really afford to buy it anymore, it's just such a shitty space to be going. But it's, your fault. We made a bunch of people, like, redundant, but it's your fault.
Yeah. Not good
Cunts.
times. Not good times.
That's what I'd call it.
I would say that this week I've really seen, and I think it was that Sunday Star Times, which we did dive into on Monday if you want to go watch that, but I think that really was the shift, and I think we are perhaps going to see a lot more businesses, especially small to medium-sized businesses, actually go, you know what, we actually are fucked and we are sick of waiting and you won't do anything and this wait and see strategy is not working. If the people at the top are saying that, then there's something's not right. And I would hope that puts pressure on Labour to start to think about what are their business policies or the policies aimed at businesses. Because if they do come out with a tax plan, they need to be very careful about making sure that they target the right people. They say who the target is, and it's not your small, medium businesses. I can't imagine them putting the rate up anymore. But it's the people that are hoarding the wealth. It's the multi-millionaires. It's the people with numbers of tens of properties. The mega landlords around the country. So, they need to be very careful about who they. But when they do, they're going to release a tax plan. But
well, I mean, like in the house that I live in, I know for a fact that at least when I last heard about it, the people who own my house, they own 400 separate places, and a lot of them are on my street. They have a monopoly in this town, like between Quinovic, which is a fucking terrible property management place that's just horrific. And I mean, to be fair, our property managers are fine. They're quite, nice. But, it's still the fact that they are able to have that many people, like that many places, is insane. And, like, that's the people that we're saying should be paying the fair tax. Like, and then you've also got the fact that, like, Wellington also doesn't have enough places. There's so many empty buildings that need to be, earthquake proofed and put together so that we can have more housing. But yeah, it's insane.
Baba was saying, I think Labour is playing the slow game. They're letting the gnats burn themselves till next year. Let's see what they can do next year before we decide how like that. We are. I agree. I have changed my tune, and I think it was Gary who first put the thought in my head of them not releasing a tax policy, and that's all they have is speculation of a tax policy that the national government can pick at is actually doing a really good thing for Labour. So we didn't see the strategy, but now I see it. So, but I think we're all just like biting because we're just like, we want to know what you're gonna do. But I think the idea of waiting till the books really, they can sort of see 6 months out at the very least what the books are looking like, so that they can come up with a tax plan and hopefully have something that's backed up with numbers based on what they know of the books. Yeah. And then also I would hope that if they win and they have the mandate, that they actually do implement the new tax plan. That because they've done it based on numbers, they've released a policy based on, relatively recent numbers, that it works. And within 6 months to their first year, in their term, that people actually see a difference. But I don't know. I guess we're all just biding our time, living through this shit for another year.
Well, to be honest, I feel like that's why a lot of us are kind of looking to Labour. Like, well, that might be a strategy that they're doing, and if they are, like, fair enough. But I think for a lot of, especially us on the left, it doesn't feel like we can wait because life is getting so much worse so fucking fast. Like, I saw a comment, I think it was last night in the chat, of someone saying that it's just terrifying how quickly things have been eroded and fucked with and broken down. Because, the last Labour government, they have a lot of critiques against them. They could have done different things too. But it almost feels like this current coalition are like rolling a bunch of them into one and making like a super ultra shitty negative government. It's just, I don't blame people for being like, hey, Labour, I don't feel like you're doing enough, especially as opposition. So, like, again, I hope that their strategy works and it reaches enough people. I'm just a little worried about the way they're pushing some people away at the same time. So, we'll see how it goes.
For sure. Do you want to slice in some memes? I'll run through the super chats and then we'll slice in a few memes and then we'll continue with the next story. I said positive. Maybe the end story is going to be positive. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Do I? I don't think I have anything positive. Maybe.
Oh, dear. Mr. Hubbard says barbs with the bars. I agree.
Hey.
Mr. Hubbard also says, due to hard times, it's now bread and more bread. Do bread can be expensive too?
Bread sandwiches.
If the bread is stale, then it's the last loaf of the day.
Well, to be fair, I've been eating a bit of bread and butter pudding recently.
No, we're not that poor yet. That's disgusting.
No,
no,
I am.
Can't do it. So, I'm so sorry. If you enjoy it, it's okay, but no, thank you. I'm good. Kaima Tahara, $5 says, there is a new edition of Edmund's cookbook, How to Roast National Politicians. Barbara's use of kitchen metaphors helped this joke even more.
Yep,
yes, I agree. I love that
Edmund's
she didn't just use the if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. She said the full thing with the kitchen analogy, and that really, I appreciated that. She's smart. So
hell yeah.
Good work,
right,
Barbara. Good work being the opposition finance spokesperson.
Oh yeah,
doing
Barb
a very good
and
job in that role.
Kieran, they're doing great on that side.
Very good attack dogs.
They would make very good co-leaders.
Oh, they would. Oh.
Could you imagine a Labour with Kieran and Barb as your co-leaders?
Progressive. Could we ever?
Now we've got more dreams, guys. Here we go. Billionaires create wealth like ticks create blood. My desires are unconventional. So show me. Just communism noises. I thought the fact that they've got the exact same thing is insane. But yeah, give me Czechoslovakia and I won't attack anyone else. Give me Ukraine and I won't attack anyone else. It's the same picture. Birds aren't real. Wake up, people. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Pigeons equal government surveillance drones.
I have never seen a baby pigeon. There might be a point in this.
Oh my god, this one though. Oh, she's got a lot to say about that.
Putin, she does. I'm surprised you heard that.
Putin might have ties to Russia. Might. Maybe. Yeah, that was my face when I saw this meme. I'm like, what the hell? Okay,
what?
Crazy. Crazy. I don't know if you've seen these ones. This is Bluebirds. We've got David Seymour, 8% full, 92% empty. Thick cunt chips. We've got spineless jellyfish, thick cunt chips, and we've got vintage plain and stale thick cunt chips. I really appreciate the way they've really put the effort into placing those faces. When your Pākehā mates say that they will put on a hangi. Yeah, this was so good. There's also a few of them from this. I'll have to find the name of the page. This is all from one Instagram page. There's a few of them. Oh yeah, this needs to be on a billboard. Turn around, bro. We're fucked up.
Yeah.
Just no. Oh yeah, today I learned an entire squad of Marines managed to get past an AI-powered camera undetected. 2 somersaulted for 300 meters, another pair pretended to be a cardboard box, and one guy pretended to be a bush. The AI could not detect a single one of them. Or walk without rhythm to avoid attracting the worms. They never learn. Communism obviously can't work because if things are free, people take more of everything than they need. For example, I have free water at my house, so I just leave all the taps on and keep drinking and drinking until I develop hyponatremia. It's human nature, buddy. You can't throw leaves at a tree expecting growth. Growth only comes from nourishing the bottom. But also nourishing the bottom made me go hee when I first read it. Oh yeah, and Nazis deserve a safe space too. Let's not end on that one. There we go, we'll end on this one. I don't trust these hoes. Me referring to this government. And that's our memes for now.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we went from sad to bad. I did try. There was some small good things in the news. It's fine. We'll end on the good stuff. Sam Hayes, had a chat with the people related
people?
to the story.
And the places?
The people.
Huh?
Yes, she did.
And the stuff?
An independent public health group put out a report. Essentially, the headline says they're calling for wealth tax and cross-party focus on wellbeing. And I think that's quite interesting that they bring that up. But it's called Determining the Future. Social, cultural, economic and commercial determinants of wellbeing in Aotearoa New Zealand, actions to improve our health and wellbeing. And they came up with some very interesting stuff, which I have to find his name. It's going to annoy me.
The dude.
Where are you? Where's your name? Where's your name? Oh, far out. It's not on there. Go. Chair Kevin Haig. That's what I was looking for. Of the Public Health Advisory Committee. So Sam has a chat with him about the report that's just come out. And I will highlight, it's quite a long, it's like 4 minutes long, but I'll highlight one of the graphs here because I think this is quite sad in what we're seeing. And it's the Māori and Pacifica health outcomes are deteriorating and they look really awful. So, but one of the things that he does go through this interview is he talks about that it's not necessarily the health system itself, but the wider the wider circumstances of someone's health. So their housing and their basically their position in society, you know, what they're eating, how they're being housed, how they're being educated, all the financial situation that their families and all of that makes a difference to their health outcomes. So I'll play a wee bit of this. I think this is probably the best. Yeah, we'll start from about here and then I'll play through to the graph because the graph's quite interesting.
Actually, they are, a few of them have improved, but for the most part, they've actually stayed the same. Or even deteriorated, and that's if anything maintained the gaps in health status between Māori, Pacifica New Zealanders, and other New Zealanders, and in some cases it's made them worse. So the Pacifica people are living more than 8 years less time than Pākehā New Zealanders, and that's a deterioration from 1998.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
the 2001 to 2003, we're looking at 71.5, 72-ish.
Yeah.
For Maori, we're looking just under 75 for Pacific, and we're looking at 80 on the dot for non-Maori and non-Pacific. And that line
It's a big
has
fucking gap.
pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah, let's
In,
get slightly
the-
coming down now.
The gap between non-Maori, non-Pacific and Pacific is widens just ever so slightly, and Maori have come up a wee bit, but the gap is still massive.
Yep.
It's yeah, that's
I love that
crazy.
for me.
Well, I mean, are you somewhere in the middle then?
Well, that's the problem, is a lot of the time, if you just have Māori, like, because actually this is, funnily enough, for a while I didn't ever tick Māori as my thing, because a lot of the time that just puts you into Māori statistics, and my brain was like, how do you split me? But yeah, so, I mean, I am assuming I would just get counted with Māori. And I mean, I can kind of attest to that, because my family, so we've got some, like, a good portion of my dad's side of the family, they die in their 50s. Like, my auntie was 57, one of my uncles was 59. You know, I think my grandfather was like 56 when he died. So, like, they do be like that.
Yeah. All right, I'll play through this for about a minute or so, because he goes into a bit more detail on this.
Which are those areas that are proving stubborn or even going backwards?
Well, clearly housing is a very major determinant, and the housing affordability, overcrowdedness, that's actually increased since 1998. So that's got worse, and that has worsened New Zealanders' health outcomes. What we see in so many areas is that the government has taken, and not just this government, but most governments over the years, has taken a hands-off approach to the economy, and that means that the economy is left to its own devices. And when that happens, it will tend to make the already wealthy wealthier, and make those who are less wealthy poorer. And we know that income disparity, that wealth disparity, will actually drive poorer health outcomes.
Just finally, Kevin, what is the one thing that you hope the...
Anything to say on that, Magenta?
I guess, like, the main thing that was making me think is that there's also other factors that go into, like, you know, the issues around our life expectancy, because stress is something that can negatively affect the body. So if you're stressed about, you know, I don't know, whether you will get discriminated against if you try to apply for a job, or, you know, just generally walking down the street, or any of those things, like, that automatically puts a lot of minority people into a heightened state of stress. That's going to have wear and tear on our hearts, you know, especially because a lot of our populations as well, there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of, you know, we've seen the abuse in state care. A lot of those were Māori people. Like, there is so much that can go into just stress and being discriminated against at a basic level, that trying to even go, like, in depth of the extra health things that need to be focused on, it's just, there's so much. And I don't think people quite understand how, like, when you're a minority, you're already put at a disadvantage, because you even just have to think about more things. Like, even they did a study with women and men taking a like a math test kind of thing to get a job, and they found that if the women who experienced some form of kind of prejudice, but just through, like, you know, shitty little comments, that actually made them perform worse on those tests, because it's taking up cognitive load in your brain, because your brain's having to try think through this other shit while it's supposed to do the job. And yeah, all of those kinds of things are just something that really impacts minority, whether it be Māori and Pacifica. And it's just, oh yeah, and then also you got intergenerational trauma, which is like a whole nother fucking thing. And you got also internalized racism. Like, there is so much that goes into these things. And it's only made worse when we think about the fact that te aka whai ora, The Māori Health Authority is now gone. Whatever chance we had of maybe, closing that gap has been put back quite a lot.
Well, he has some. Sam asks what the advice to the government would be, and I think this goes for another 30 seconds or so, probably another minute or so. He has quite a lot to say, but I think he makes some really good points, obviously, because the report.
Just finally, Kevin, what is the one thing that you hope the government will do with this report?
Well, I'm hoping government will take a little bit of time with this report and not give just an instant response. There's a lot in this, and there are
Long-term planning.
many ideas that government could pick up. Our job, we're an independent expert advisory group. Our job is to analyse the evidence and present that to the government with proposals for what we know will make a positive difference. Because of the unequal distribution of these building blocks of a good life, the income, work, education, housing, it's no wonder that our Māori population, our Pacifica population, disabled people end up with health status and wellbeing status that's a lot poorer than everyone else. And so it's clearly a disaster for them. We can do so much better for them, but it's also a disaster for all of us because persistent inequalities and poor health status is a blight on our society, and it's also a drain on the public purse because we're paying for it in those massive health dollars that need to go into the specialist care to deal with health problems that could have been avoided with better lives for everyone.
And this is something that I keep saying time and time again, and it's not for us. Because I think we all know where my position sits. But if we were to look at people within the capitalist system, for the people that are so money hungry, business, first, all this other bullshit, if you purely look at it from your own personal, selfish point of view, money making point of view, healthy people make your business more money. Healthy people make for a more productive society. Healthy people will mean a higher GDP. If you purely look at it from that standpoint, if you want to look at it from the capitalist economic standpoint, healthier people cost less on this health system. It's basically he's just said that there are blight on the health system, and there are things that we can do to prevent then getting to the point where they're using specialist care, which costs more because obviously specialists and more time, all these sort of things. And yes, that does mean that we have to invest at the beginning, but in the long term vision of things, which some governments are really shit at looking at, in the long term, like if you invest now and you invest at this lower point, then you're going to overall not cost yourself as much over 10 years, 20 years, over 60 years, over a person's lifetime. So like if anyone is that kind of person and they're very selfish and they don't think about people, that's the point that I would keep putting to them.
Yeah. I mean,
sprinkle however much of the bullshit you need to do to get them to think about,
Well, yeah, I mean, like you say, it's so obvious. Healthy people into more jobs. One of the problems I see, though, is that what jobs has this government created for those people to go into? And also, unfortunately, I would have to agree with this. The drug industry. We know for a fact that lobbying and all of these things, it's kind of like, I've always said this about America, less so much about us, because I would argue we haven't been anywhere near as fucking like throwy pills at people. Still not great. But in America, it's always felt like they don't want them to be healthy, because if they're healthy, not only will they be able to work, they'll be able to actually start thinking about what they want to do with their life and realizing that they don't want to be stuck in a fucking factory doing demeaning work and not being appreciated or given enough money to survive on. Like, they want to keep people in these states of having to both rely on them for help, and then they get the satisfaction of being able to go, and rub it in your face like, see, you're so pathetic. You needed me, and I'm so great because I helped you, even though they're what's keeping us in this fucking cycle. And obviously we're just becoming a smaller version of all of that. Like, it's pretty gross, to be honest. And it's partially why, not even partially why, it's a good portion of why they're trying to go for titidity, because they know titidity is one of the strongest things we have to protect us against corporate exploitation. And until they can get rid of the fucking indigenous law in this country, they're just going to keep attacking us. Like, it's frustrating because they have the money. They could do it, but like we've always said, it's what they're choosing to put the money into. And all they're choosing to do is trying to privatize and make more business and create this unsustainable expectation of, there's some stuff that we'll look at later, but like this obsession with like, government shouldn't spend more. Yes, it fucking should. Because when I was like 2000s, we had 3.9 million people at the beginning of this millennium. We're now at 5.2 million people. We should be spending more money because there's more fucking people. It's like, it makes me feel crazy sometimes. Because I'm not even that good at math. It's just, frustrating.
Well, the Prime Minister had something to say about this report because the big T word came. Yes, he did. He managed to sneak a blame Labour in there. Don't know how he does it. Every time it's always Labour's fault. They haven't even done anything. This is nothing.
Nice and rested after his holiday or some shit.
He went on holiday? Fucking.
Yeah, he went on fucking holiday for some. Yeah, I can't remember when that happened. I'm sure someone will bloody mention it in the chat.
Good for him. So, as we just heard there, the report was more so to do with the underlying reasons that people have poor health outcomes and sort of the wellbeing aspect as well. And one of the things I mentioned was increasing tax, a wealth tax, in order to pay for this. And he did also in there. He was very Chris, wasn't it? He was very good at trying to make it apolitical and really saying like, this has nothing to do with politics. This is really just looking at the broader, we are just looking at the facts, the data, and this is what it says. Wealth inequality here has something to do with this as well. So I really appreciate it. There was no blame Labour in that. All right, so I'll just read this to you. Cost of living pressures also make an appearance within the report, highlighting that financial stress was the greatest immediate concern for young people the authors spoke to. Rising rates of complex long-term conditions like diabetes is coupled with lower physical activity and worsening mental health, particularly among young people, while the aging population is expected to add further pressure. Other topics covered include child poverty, education, unemployment, income inequality, racism, ableism, climate change, and housing quality. So it's very extensive.
Just a few things.
Just everything.
Just a little bit.
Just every factor of life. Despite absolute gains across many determinants such as income and education and reductions in some absolute inequalities, there have been limited or no change in the relative differences, privilege or disadvantage between ethnic and socioeconomic groups for many socioeconomic indicators. It says large reductions in smoking rates have contributed significantly to reduction in cardiovascular disease, stroke, chronic lung disease, lung cancer and other conditions over the last 30 years. Can we just have a reminder about what they did this year to the smoke-free 2025?
I love that for us.
But inequities remain in other health indicators like infant and child mortality in Pacific populations, and no real change in inequalities for Māori and Indian people compared with all other ethnic groups. Prime Minister Christopher Luxon said he had not read the report, but dismissed the idea of a wealth tax, saying it was not on the cards. I love that they quoted this.
I didn't read the book.
This in the quote.
But here's my fucking book review. What the fuck?
They didn't need to put this in. They could have redacted it, but they kept it in, which makes me laugh. I'd just say, a wealth tax is completely the wrong answer for New Zealand. They could have just got rid of the "I'd just say," but they kept it in. I like that. I'd just say a wealth tax is completely the wrong answer in New Zealand, he said. You've heard Chris Hipkins say that he's not sure he's going to rule out capital gains taxes on the family home. And the reality is New Zealand at this part, what we need to do is focus on growing the economy so that we can improve our productivity and lift living standards for all. And that's really the focus of this government. And then I love that this was put in the end. One of the arguments in favour of capital gains tax is that it would decrease the incentive to invest into housing, making investments into productive businesses comparatively more attractive. Didn't need to put that in there, but I appreciate that that's in there because I think that's important to reiterate of what a capital gains tax would give us. And if we are talking about economic growth, then one of the arguments keeps coming up time and time again is if you take the incentive to invest in housing out and make the investment into productive businesses more attractive, then it will produce more businesses who can then grow our economy because they make jobs and they make products for export that brings in import-export taxes, all of that stuff. It stimulates the economy. And if you want to grow and you want more businesses, that's one way of doing it. Otherwise, you just have people hoarding 400 fucking houses.
And that's just my one. It could have gone up since then because I think that number was like maybe 5 years ago. So, fuck knows. Also, there was a comment earlier from our favourite Dot. I didn't know this. New Zealand has one of the highest asthma rates in the world, and damp substandard housing gives rise to more respiratory disorders. Which, I think my mum and my brother both have asthma, and I know so many people who have asthma. And also, I think Huey Burp here kind of thinks we're the most productive we have ever been. We do not have a productivity issue. We have a money distribution problem. And I think that really sums up they just do this typical, I'm sure you've seen the memes where it's different paper clippings throughout the centuries of people being like, oh, these young people, they just don't want to work anymore. And this is published in the early 1900s, and then they redo it. It's just one of those things where they're trying to rest on this weird laurels of oh, we can't just go giving money away, throwing it away. We've got to be smart, even though they are throwing it away. They're not being smart. So, yeah, it's frustrating.
One of the things that I found really interesting is that over in the Nordic countries, the height of what could possibly Scandinavia, all of them, is the housing standards, the minimum housing standards over there, even for our brand new builds, their housing standards are the top one or two ratings, and that's a base build for them. And it probably is because a lot of them are in very they're obviously close to the Arctic, so they get a lot colder than we do here. That said, we do have quite what would you say? Our climate here is quite extreme, I think. So if you make it a national standard,
subtropical to subantarctic.
Exactly. So we have quite an extreme climate. So if you want to nationalize this, standard national, then it needs to be good for both hot, humid conditions as well as cold, frigid, dry conditions. But the standard over there is something I think when you rate housing for heat retention, insulation, sound protection, all of that sort of thing. The standard over there is something it's 7 or 8 or 9 plus. It's crazy high. But to get a 10 star or top standard home, or even not even that, a 9 or an 8 here is so fucking expensive. It's just it's astronomical because we just don't use those building materials and we don't take the time to actually standardize that way of building. Something, I think there's something like triple glaze over there, which is crazy. But the fact that we didn't have double glazed in my lifetime, I remember when double glaze was made the standard.
Yeah,
And they were like years ahead of us, and they were like, yeah, that's been standard for yonks. Why are you building single glazed homes? It's crazy. Yeah, so I think if we could, I think that would make such a difference if we just improved even just that. Like, we actually took the time to make better houses that actually would not just meet like the minimum standards now, but exceed the minimum standards now, so that when new standards come in the next 20, 30
kind of
years,
future-proof it. Yeah.
they're future-proofed and they're still really good homes. Like the fact that a lot of our homes do not have insulation. The standard is top and bottom insulation. There is no standard for outer insulation. Why? Because it would cost landlords way too much to remove walls and put fucking insulation in. Oh, can't do that. We'll just do roof and base because that's the best we can do.
Oh, if
that's
you've got
the
it.
easiest.
We didn't get any because our house is fucking weird and old and you can't put shit in the... All they did was
unless
kind of do
there's an
some of the
exception.
stuff for upstairs. Yeah, our house is fucked with that stuff. But yeah, I mean... Though there is one point, though, that I've seen a few people in the chat talking about it. We'd have to pay higher tax rates. Just as a baseline standard, that's not like... And I believe they have a capital... some kind of CGT. Because,
Almost all countries have a CGT.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's bullshit. Because also, like, I saw this comment here. We are not saying CGT on your home. Just to make this very clear to Michelle, that is not what we're saying. It's always on investment properties. Like, people who just own their own home, no, they shouldn't have to pay a capital gains tax. That would be fucking stupid. But the people the people who own 400 homes, they should.
Especially when you've got a lot of people who generationally that has been their investment retirement, basically. They're basically paying for a house in order to, when they need to, sell it and then pay for their retirement. So I don't think that's fair to put that on a... but I would even argue someone's second, like the mum and pop landlords, right? I'm 50-50 on them. Like, I think they should pay... If they do pay capital gains tax, it should be far lower. But I think there should be something that's like progressive, you know? Okay, on your third home, then, you know, you pay this much. On your fourth home, you pay this much. On your fifth, your sixth, I don't know. After your second property or your first investment, so you've got your house and then you've got your mum and pop landlord fucking retirement saving, whatever. Because there is an argument for landlords and for renters, absolutely. But 400 fucking houses, that's disgusting.
Exactly.
That is disgust. That is money. That is just
yeah, and that's the thing, is it's like, and I mean, I'm sure it's just as bad in Auckland because they've got a lot of houses and apartments up there too. So like,
I think Pat was saying that in Dunedin there's something like 35,000 homes, I think.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't take long for housing to rack up. And it's one of those things that once you've got 1-2 investment properties, it's so easy to just bank on the next one and bank on the next one and bank on the next one.
Exactly.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Though I just realized I saw a super chat here earlier that's reminding me to show you something. Do you want to see something from the CTU?
Oh yeah. Please. I missed out. What did I miss out on?
Oh, just you wait. Just you wait, buddy. So this came out today. The NZCTU call on Prime Minister to sack Brooke Van Velden. We are calling on the PM to show leadership by removing Brooke Van Velden as Minister for Workplace Relations and Safety following her recent comments that politicise the Employment Relations Authority and breach the Cabinet Manual. So, she in trouble. They say here, it is of the utmost importance that ministers respect the independence of judicial bodies and not politicise them by saying they expect members they've appointed to deliver outcomes that suit their political agenda. These comments represent the kind of political interference in judicial processes that undermine the rule of law and have no place in a democracy. It is deeply concerning that the Minister has told media that she stands by her comments after the PSA called for a retraction. It is now clear that the Prime Minister must step in and take action to uphold ministerial standards in his cabinet. Since she was appointed, Van Velden has implemented constant policy attacks on workers' rights and unions. There is no ability for workers and the public to have confidence in her as the Minister. It's time for her to go. They really didn't mince their words.
No.
And when I saw that today, I was like, wow, this is going to be fun to see if he actually even responds to or acknowledges.
Probably not.
Yeah. But that was a little fun read from 8 hours ago.
Good on them. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't want to be a doomer, but they've broken the cabinet manual time and time again. They've done stupid bullshit in the House, outside of the House. They've said things they shouldn't have said. They've done things they shouldn't have done, and no repercussions have happened time and time again. But as part of a democracy, we are allowed to call things out when they happen.
Sure.
We are allowed to ask for repercussions. And,
absolutely.
We followed the rules. At least we tried, and then
I think the way that I look at it is kind of like when I was on, say, like student council, and I used to do a lot of student advocacy in the tertiary space. Like, I used to always encourage people to make complaints, because even if that one complaint doesn't actually get acknowledged or told about, or even done with anything with, it's when you get a number of complaints, having these reputable places coming out and making statements like this is a really good way for next year when the election's kicking off, Labour and them can be like, look at how many people, not only did they get asked to say remove Brooke Van Velden, how many fucking lawsuits is this fucking government in for all the contracts that they've broken? It makes them look bad, and it adds that kind of fuel to that fire to go, guys, we can't make it any clearer how much they suck. Even if you don't love Labour or the Greens, please don't do this.
I think we've seen this week, even on the teachers' strike thing, actually, the pointing to the things that we say, sort of the $2.9 billion for landlords, the $671 million ferries that don't exist. Those numbers are resonating with people. The tobacco lobby tax, all of that stuff. Like the teachers on that teacher strike were, I don't know which one it was, either Stuff or TVNZ's article. One of the teachers basically recited those numbers. And they said, you can afford to pay us because you've just spent this, this, and this. And they recited the numbers, and that was fantastic. And then we saw Chris Hipkins do the same thing when he was, when I think Nicola attacked him for Labour being fiscally innumerate. And then he came back with, okay, Nicola, $2.9 billion for landlords, the tax subsidies, all this sort of stuff. So I think those things are finally... They are the left's, what do you call them? Slogans of sorts.
Yeah,
and they are resonating with people. So that's good.
Oh, absolutely.
The more that we have those repeated, the better.
Oh,
that
exactly.
laundry list is very, 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 very long.
And to be honest, I feel like, and maybe this is just me tooting our favourite economist's horn, I feel like Craig Rennie, the Locked Up podcast, obviously him being here on BHN, I feel like that is genuinely going, because a lot of the numbers or the things people are repeating, I'm like, do you watch BHN or Locked Out with Craig Rennie? This is feeling real familiar, and I just love that, because we're actually seeing that, I feel like a lot of us feel powerless, like we can't do anything right now, but we're kind of doing stuff, guys, and that includes through memes and through, all of the dumb things we do as well. It's just awesome to see. And I love it, especially since Craig's his podcast is just fucking so good. There's always so much you can learn.
And it's clearly, it's clearly resonating with people as well. Speaking of a laundry list, because I just listened and I wasn't paying attention to which video it was. Damn it, one of the videos I was watching, they did the exact same thing, and it was like, they mentioned one thing, and then the other thing, and then the next thing, and next thing. I'll see if I can find it. But, like, it was just like, okay, does it stop? Like, it was just thing after thing after thing, and I was like, holy shit. I'll see if I can quickly scrub through and find it, but I probably can't. Do you want to, in the meantime, we got some super chats.
Yeah, we do.
Nope. We got a few reviews.
There's a couple of starred, but yeah.
Go for it. Let's see if I can find this.
All right. Where's anyone's? Okay. Kaimatara for $5. Exactly. This might win some votes, but it's permanently losing other votes. If Labour don't announce something, people feel hopeless and move to Oz. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that is something that's happening. 69 is Scariot. There is $5. There is a special health for property managers and a super special level just for Konovic. Fucking yes. Honestly, the horror stories from Konovic. Ugh. Fucking insane. We've got Kaimatara again for $5. Did you know before colonization, Māori... Yeah, I was thinking about this as we were looking at that Kaimatara. Yes, the Māori life expectancy was 35. But after colonization, it dropped to 23 years old. So that colonization literally took, what? Oh, I'm going to have to do math now. 12 years of our life. There we go. That was painful, guys. I told you, don't make me do math. And then Kiwi Bib for $2, waiting for Seymour to promote no glaze windows. He fucking would. It's all about cost cutting. Also, I don't know if you guys have heard, but plagues here and vibing in the US. Though I learned that they have like 5 to 7 cases of the plague every year, which is crazy. And it's also so ironic because I had started this earlier saying, it's funny because I suck at math, but like economics. I agree. It's just like people math. Did you find it?
I didn't. I'm going to keep looking. Do you want to go through some
memes? When comforting someone who says te reo is confusing, I always say, there. Oh yeah, someone posted, I can't remember who posted this image into the Discord, but Judith is looking extra cracked out. Hey, Ems, just look up for a second. Look at her. Isn't it terrifying? But yes, she's our emoji because I felt like it. You know I can't catch your ghost ships. Go away. You want a fairy? I also like that they've actually photoshopped a fairy into the hands where the chips were. It's the details, you know? Oh, yes. Okay. I had to take a big cough because this is a lot of words. Yes, but this is Chris Hipkins from Salient. So someone in our Discord is friends with someone who works for Salient, and they posted this. And so this is, a write-up about Chris Hipkins, Vice President in ViewSat. And also he had really long hair. And I love it because it says, had Chris been born 50 years ago, he would have made a great hippie. Consider the evidence, his musical preferences, Simon and Garfunkel and the Beatles. His status is footloose and fancy-free. He refuses to grow up. He doesn't like to shout. He has a relaxed attitude to fashion. I wear pretty much anything, and most tellingly, he has a ponytail that he hasn't got around to having cut. Chris attempted to claim some gravitas by listing Jenny Shipley, John Hawkesby, and Oscar Henry as his heroes. But we don't believe him. We know his true heroes are people like Jerry Garcia. However, he is working hard for education. His plans for this year include class reps in every class and gaining student control of the union building. Student politics may be more interesting than you thought. Chris says he is planning to write a tell-all expose of his time at VUSA. I wonder if he ever did that. Just what intimate details will this reveal? The man who is always on top says his favourite sports are skiing and swimming and surfing and indoor soccer, although salient staff who have seen Chris attempt to kick a soccer ball were dubious about that claim. Just a little bit of throwback salient. Also, I love this. She really liked her helicopter. I've just read so much. We need both. Guys, you can read this. For revolution, we need to revolt and vote. Oh yeah, someone made this meme of Carrie-Anne McAnulty from The Untouchables from the 80s. Oh yeah, this is just a picture of Chris Hipkins. And then, obviously, memeing on his that one interview he did during COVID. Also, this fucking gave me a jump scare when I saw this.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. That he really looks like Ted Cruz. But also, someone put Donald Trump's hair on him as well. For some reason, I guess. I don't even know why these were in here. Oh, yes, we got good old cocksuckers. What do you like, cocksuckers?
That's maybe what I was going to say instead of toe suckers.
You get the creation of the week. Guys, Em's made this really cool thumbnail, and I loved it, so I decided it was our creation of the week. Because it reminded me of, I'm just going to share that, take that off the screen. And
I was saying that no one ever appreciates my meme thumbs because no one watches the YouTube clips.
Yeah, because they're all fucking here with us for the 2 hours that we... But it reminded me of this.
I mean, it's true.
I kind of love this style of, like, throwback t-shirts, so that's what it made me think of. Your winnies.
My winnies. I can't find anything. So I'm just going to show you my YouTube history of what I watched the other night. This is going to be very, very revealing. Please don't hate me. I'm cool.
ready to judge you. Let's go.
Please don't judge me. What have I been watching? All sorts of things. Basically, Economics Explained and a bunch of other people. But if you're interested, you could watch any of these videos. And look, you can watch Ecology while you sleep. Or you should say, could we cuss economics? Anyways. Oh, look, and then there's Carrie McAnulty.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then don't look the rest of it. No, I wasn't watching that. This is my sleep podcast. Yeah, a bunch of things about the world. But one of those videos has some really good stuff. In fact, a lot of them do. So, yeah. But yeah,
nice.
When you watch a lot of these videos now, like about, I don't know, ideologies and economic systems and all that sort of stuff, you kind of, it all just kind of makes sense. Like you literally see it in your day-to-day, and you see it in your own politics, and you see it overseas, and then you go, yeah, you're right. I'm literally looking at it. Like I'm seeing exactly the product of this system in action, and it's fucking me over. And I'm seeing how other people are doing it, and it's not fucking them over. Or at least it's fucking them over a little less.
Yeah.
So
not so hard.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Am I a fellow commie? I might be a fellow commie, but I did learn the history of. I did learn the history of East and West Berlin, and then that made me think slightly differently. But it was really interesting too. It was basically explaining how the like almost every single stat in Germany is. You can literally see the dividing line between East and West where the wall was. Everything from like birth rates to like all the inequality stats, all of the economic stats, almost every single stat, and even like really weird small stuff like population of I don't know what it was. It was something along the lines of wealthier females or wealthier, older. I don't know. It was something really strange and really specific, and it was still like down the line of where the wall was. So yeah, but I learned the history of the East and West. It's not a historian. I don't know anything, but yeah, fascinating to learn. So
Nice.
yes.
Sorry about the cough. All right.
So there you go.
Do
Our
we
last story.
Yes.
Our last positive story of the night. It's a very quick one.
Oh, I've got a bad story. Can I go first? Not a bad story. Not a bad story. I don't want to go last.
I've got a bad story. Can I share it with you?
Can I
Here you
not
go.
ruin everybody's night?
Go for it. Go for it.
Because I don't know if you remember Dom Harvey, the radio.
Is this what I think it is?
Have you seen what his recent podcast was?
Yes, I have. I watched it.
Yes. It's fucking
Very interesting.
horrendous. It's so... I mean, horrendous on, like, David's part, obviously. So I don't know if
I just felt sorry for the child who was, like, getting fed all this bullshit. And I'm like, I really fucking hope he doesn't believe this guy.
Oh, no, to be honest, I was just absolutely, like, cheerleading this fucking kid. And you can kind of tell, that, especially at a couple of those things near the end, you can kind of tell that he's like, oh, okay. Like, you could tell he just was like, I don't know what the hell you... Because there's a few times in here where he just gets really word salady. Was kind of the only way I could really describe it.
I don't think he knows how to speak to children, to be fair. I don't think he has...
He doesn't have to change the way he speaks. He can just talk to them like a normal fucking person. Like, you don't have to talk down to a 13-year-old. He's 13. He's not fucking 5. You know what I mean? Like,
but David
I think that's
doesn't
more the autism
know...
in David.
Yeah,
He's
it could
definitely
be.
on the
Maybe...
spectrum.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'd vouch for
And
that.
so was the
but
kid
yeah.
in this interview, to be fair. I mean,
That's true. They're probably speaking a similar language, but I still don't think David knows. I don't know.
He doesn't
Maybe
know how to
not. I don't
conduct
know.
himself in general, to be fair. But there was, you know
He
what?
always looks uncomfortable, actually, in the presence of children. I'll be honest. That's probably what it is. That's maybe what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. Because it's around here. I didn't get the exact timestamp, but
Yeah, I
in this
literally
part-
I just watched all the questions were from the kid and then skipped through anything David was saying.
it was horrendous.
Because I knew what he was saying. I didn't need to watch it. He's the same.
Oh no,
talking
but
points.
it's like actually kind of worse. He did like some of his worst explanations of certain things. So, around the 22-minute mark, he basically blames people on the benefit for being on the benefit, and then says that the way to solve it is by just punishing them and not anything else. But then there's this part near the end here where this young guy basically asks him about... Actually, I'll see if I can get the beginning of the question because it's a really good question. Where does he start? He's probably at the beginning, isn't he?
Unless he asks another question. He's asking about the treaty principles bill, isn't he?
Yes, but he ends up talking about how Māori
Goes on to
are overrepresented in prison. So that's kind of what he's talking about. Yeah.
It was a weird example, eh? Oh no, the kid came back with a really good one. Actually. Yeah, I think it is play from there-ish.
Yeah,
Unless
Or
it's
there
the-
should be 2 parliaments or whatever, but there's got to be 1 parliament, it's got to be 1 law as far as I'm concerned. Number 2, that people should have tirotaanga and property rights, but I said, and some people will argue about this, I said it should actually apply to all people. If all people should have property rights, all people should have the right to self-determine and live their lives as they see fit. And number 3, there should be equal rights before the law. Not that there should be equal outcomes, equal rights. So I took the treaty and what I believe the treaty really was intended and what it meant in 1840, and I put that into a set of principles I think would be good for New Zealand. But obviously there's a lot of people who like the partnership idea, partly because it makes them special, or because they feel that they're guilty. Because
Yeah. This is why it started getting weird.
Some people like the partnership idea, but because that's what the
makes
treaty
them special,
says, David.
or because they feel that they're guilty because of things that happened in the past, and therefore, there should be different treatment of people. For that reason,
Poor
it created
child,
a lot
I'm
of
so
controversy.
sorry.
I still think in the long term, that version of the treaty will prevail because division doesn't work.
Okay. So you said that everyone should have equal rights before the law, but after the law there shouldn't be equal outcomes. So could you elaborate what that meant? Because 60% of our prison population is Maori, and that means 20% of 900,000 Maori are in prison, which is kind of sad.
Well, you also got to remember, I'm not quite sure about your 20% of 900,000.
Sorry, that was
yeah, 2% might be, but the putting that aside.
I mean, look, first of all, he just tried to fucking actually a child, which, come on, bro.
Right. The other thing you got to remember is that
No, what?
I'm not doing math. I don't know whether the math was right or not. I'm sure it was, because this kid fucking great.
It's not 2%, right?
No, it wouldn't be. I'm not doing math.
No, 10% would be 90,000. He said 60,000, so it's just little under 10%. So he was actually close, not 2%. Don't put that bullshit in here. I can at least do that math, right?
Uh-huh. Also, so I noticed someone said, why is this kid on here? So the context behind that real quickly is just he's trying to basically champion for lowering the voting age to 16. And they have a lot of conversation back and forth about reasons for and against, lowering the voting age. And honestly, this kid's amazing. Like, it's hard to listen to David, but I highly recommend watching the whole thing. We'll just let him talk for, a couple more seconds.
Maori are also disproportionately
this was the whole point. So this is his whole reason why Māori are disproportionately represented in the prison system.
The other thing you got to remember is that Maori are also disproportionately victims of crime. So it's not that Maori are locked up more because there's some sort of prejudice. It's because there seems to be more crime. Now, you've got to get to the bottom of why that is. And the case...
So did you catch that? He's basically saying that because Māori commit more crime, they're more likely to be victims of that crime. And that's why. That because there's more Māori victims, that means there's more Māori criminals. Like, it's just this weird,
He's putting the idea that it's infighting, as if Māori can only hurt their own population, and that's all it is.
It's not even just infighting. He's dog
it's a
whistling.
It is very much. It's that what do they call it? Not tribalism, but that like infantilizing of you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's basically like treating them. Well, it's treating people as a lower class, and that's what he's painting the picture of. It's like I think someone said that it's a lot about how they treat black people by saying that black people are, the perpetrators of crime, and just the fact that he said that to a kid.
Savages.
Yes.
That's the words. Yeah,
Well, yeah, that used to be the classing system. You'd be able to, you could move through the ranks from savage to civilized, and that was the caste system that they used. And also, fun fact, I learned too that I think it's in the Bible, Shem. There's like this whole thing where different people where the different colors come from. So brown people were supposedly from the House of Shem, which is also the name of a Māori band. So yeah, crazy. But yeah, that line there just fucking got me really riled up. Especially when, through the whole thing, even the way he talked about NCA and, going on about how, we need to get people just off the couch into jobs with a government that's not creating the jobs. It's just, it was so frustrating. We don't need to listen to much more than that, but I highly recommend going and watching it because that kid gives me so much hope. Like, I'm really excited for the up and coming generations of voters and politicians.
What was interesting is the kid at the beginning said that he comes from a very politically divided household, where I think his mum was more progressive and his
mum's left,
one was
dad's-
right wing.
Yeah.
One's right. I would argue, and I don't have any evidence to back this up, but I would argue that a household in which that happens, the children, I think, tend to lean left in the end. Because I think they get the left perspective and they see the humanity that the left perspective has. And when they experience the system that we're in, which is very right-wing, neo-capitalism, all that sort of stuff, that tends to be less favourable of humans as beings. I think when because they experience that, and that's the views coming from one side of their family, but they get to hear the inequalities that it creates from the left side of the family. I do believe that produces more left-wing kids than it does right-wing kids. I don't have any evidence to bring it up.
No, I would agree though, because like a lot of the values, unless a child has basically just parroting, say, their parents' political views, which is really fucking common, I'd argue more often than not, a lot of people when they first vote kind of just do it based off whatever their parents did. But again, you definitely see, like, because I think David was like, oh, well, then we'd have like 100,000 more people who could vote. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Stop trying to act like that's a bad fucking thing. You know it's a bad thing for you, but it would actually be really great. And also, kids pay tax, so fucking let them participate in democracy. I would trust so many 16-year-olds at the moment than I would say some of the 80-something-year-olds who are voting now. You know what I mean? It's just, they know they'd lose.
Yeah. Kids are progressive.
Yep.
They're becoming more and more progressive, and can't wait to vote these guys out. We the people, get the guillotines.
Choppy, choppy. But yeah, now we can go into the nice stuff.
Okay. My last little story of the night is that opposition's backbenchers overtake the Nationals' bills passed. That makes no sense to you. So there's this thing which I'm sure Gary could probably do a better job of explaining it to me. But every term, I assume, not every year, but every term, ministers are allowed to put a bill into the biscuit tin, which gets debated every second Wednesday. And then it can either be passed into the House. And this term, so far, Labour, in opposition, have actually passed more bills than National have in terms of like biscuit tin bills.
Yeah.
And the two that got through this week, Camilla Bellich, I'm going to say. Her bill was the Employment Relations or the Employee Remuneration Disclosure Amendment Bill. So basically says that pay gag clauses are unenforceable, meaning employers could not take legal action if an employee does talk about pay, which thank fuck. Fascinatingly though, National were on board with that, which is quite interesting, I believe. I didn't think they would be in favour of that, but they were. And some of the reasons for that being does she say it? It was about inequality and fairness. She's referenced a study by the Human Rights Commission into the Pacific pay gap, which she said had found pay secrecy was really hampering the progress of New Zealand workplaces. An idea she then became interested in leading to her members' bill. We cannot keep taking steps backward when it comes to equality and fairness. These are things that should be bipartisan. She said the bill implemented a small change, but it said it was a small step forward for New Zealand, saying it would make workplaces fairer and more open. Vanessa Wienick, of course, we've had some harsh words to say about her, particularly as the women's Minister for Women. I believe it's her. Is it her?
I should know,
Speaking
but
on-
I don't.
Speaking on behalf of the National Party, Vanessa Wienick said she rose in very strong support of the bill to a round of applause. She also acknowledged it was a small change, but called it a fundamental change. It will actually enable all employees to confidently discuss their pay in terms and conditions with anyone that they choose to, without fear that doing so may cause encumbrance in their employment, that they might have some negative impact or repercussions as a result of doing that. She said that fear could lead to unease and mistrust and could perpetuate inequality. And then the National Party colleague Hamish Campbell emphasised the legislation did not force anyone to disclose anything. So, yeah, very interesting that passed with national support. The other one that went through was, giving evidence of family violence bill, which was Tracy McClellan's. Giving evidence of family violence amendment bill, which would extend the range of possible protections for those giving evidence of sexual assaults or family harm in the family court, also passed, but with support from all parties. It would allow for those giving evidence to do so in alternative ways, rather than being required to do it in the same room as the alleged abuser, for example. Many MPs highlighted the moment of unity, saying it was the best of Parliament when it came together to make change for the better. McClellan spoke first and said the bill was about safety, it's about dignity, and it's about justice. It's about recognising that victims of family violence should not be re-traumatised by the institution charged with protecting them. She said too many people, most often women, had walked into the family court and found it to be a place of fear rather than refuge. This bill takes an important step to change that. On behalf of the National, echoing McClellan's sentiments, he also spoke about the debate representing the collegiality of Parliament. Everybody in this place wants to make New Zealand a better place. Sometimes we disagree about how we get there, but sometimes we actually come together for the good of New Zealand. So I always find it interesting when members' bills like this, National come to the table. Yes, but what that means is that in a nitty gritty stats kind of way. So the last Parliament, 15 members' bills passed into law. 10 were from Labour and Green, the parties that were in government, and 5 from National. In that context, this Parliament is setting a new standard. This week, 2 members' bills from opposition MPs passed their third and final readings and now await the assent of the Governor-General. A third is nudging at their heels if it passes in October. As a result, in this Parliament, more opposition members' bills have passed into law than government ones. The score is now 6-4. By October, it may be 7-4.
It's a shame.
And this is highlight to Camilla. Sorry. I should learn people's names. Camilla?
Oh, I can't.
Camilla?
Oh.
No, Camilla.
It's
their third successful members' bill. She had 2 come through last year. So good on her. She's killing it.
Right, get it.
Fantastic. But yeah, just some nice good news there. I think there's some good changes there. I didn't realise that there were gag orders on talking about your pay. I do not follow them. I don't give a fuck about them. I will ask you behind closed doors what they're paying you.
I feel like if you have the kind of job where people get a bit weird about that, I don't know. I've never had a job like that, so I don't think they give a shit at New World if you guys talk about how much you get paid. You know what I mean?
It's not like you can do anything.
Right? Do we want to go into the last memes or the chats or?
Let's get to the chats. Do we go through the last of the memes? And I think, are we done for the night? Are we?
Yeah, I think we will be.
Yeah, you can go and rest your voice. Keybrib says hippy chippy. Hell yeah. Merch idea BHN toe rings. No.
Yeah.
No.
This is going to be the new thing in it. Love it. Hey, they have not let Pat live after that Erica Stanford thing. So, like, I'm sorry, but the people will do what they must.
Also, when you're talking about co-leadership, Hottie Barbara Nolte. Yeah.
We can workshop them. We can workshop some names.
We can work. Rajan says David only knows how to talk to kids on Snapchat. I saw that about like 6 times. No one will ever let him forget that. Peter Sign for $2 says that kid shows a lot more patience than I would have. Very much so. Mr. Abids, the crime is not honouring Te Tiriti. David? Yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely. All right. Meme time, shall we?
Yeah. Also, I did realise, I don't know if you saw this on Blue Sky, but I thought I'd quickly show it because it's quite cool. So, Nikki No Boats is on wplace.live. I've seen these things before.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you can actually, if you want to go and join in on the fun, you can go to Blue Sky and follow the link. And yeah, I just thought it was cute that someone was putting Nikki into the Dunedin area. It was just nice. So yeah, that's there if you guys want to go have fun. And we only have bonus memes now. As I said before, Arabic is the most romantic language. How am I supposed to forget about you when there's garbage on every street? That's how I feel about David. I don't know if this isn't a meme, but I don't know if you saw this article.
I read it.
I need your opinions.
Okay.
Do you agree or not agree? Because I have very strong feelings about this song.
I remember it, and I remember the video, and I remember the band. I don't remember the song so much, and I was about to go look it up, and I was like, actually, I don't really want that in my head. But I do remember it was a very cringe video, that's for sure. And there were probably some better anthem, that's for sure. But I did find it really interesting, and then I didn't realize it was the guitarist was from Zed. And then it was like, oh yeah, he's got a restaurant in Akaroa, and I was like, I've been there.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I just thought they way overplayed this song on C4, and so I can still hear it. It's one of those images I can hear. I hated it. I'm like, this is not a lost emo anthem. It can get the fuck in the bin. You're so quick to crash out, who I grew up with. Have you watched Happy Gilmore 2?
No, I hate that era of, it's terrible American humor.
I mean, I am a 12-year-old boy inside, so it makes sense. I have the taste of a 12-year-old.
How is he not aged?
To be fair, these movies are all around the same time. These are old. I mean, The Wedding Singer
number 2?
was...
Wait, why did it pop up again? Was number 2... Because I thought number 2 was old, and if it is old... No,
Happy Gilmore never had a number 2. They've only just
this
made
is a new movie.
Yeah, new movie.
But these are screenshots from the old movie.
These are from Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer. I can't remember what the bottom one is, but yeah, I loved Adam Sandler.
The one where is he in the movie with Drew Barrymore where she forgets who she is? Yeah. I think that's that last one.
Yes, there was. I'm pretty sure it is. And to be fair, Happy Gilmore 2 is actually surprisingly really good. And yes, 50 First Dates. Fucking love that movie. And yeah, Happy Gilmore 2 is on Netflix. That's the only reason I watched it.
Yeah.
Billy Madison and Waterboy. I fucking thank you. But yeah, emo trans. This is amazing. This is the most gangster shit I've ever seen. Our customer put a gold chain on her life alert button. She said, if I'm slipping, I better be dripping.
Oh my God, I love
Icon. Oh yeah. Quidditch changes its name to distance itself from J.K. Rowling. My face when she sucks so much that the sport she invented has a dead name now. Like, chef's kiss. I love it. It's beautiful.
I love its major quad ball.
Oh yeah, this is the page that has all these funny Maori memes on. So make Aotearoa native again on Instagram. Go give them a follow. When your mana wave has too much mana. This one actually made me laugh out loud when I saw it. So good. Oh yeah, and since we ended with a dog last week, I thought we'd have more pets. So this is Morty. This is Kiwi Burb's pet possum. He's very cute and adorable. And I thought everyone should see how cute and adorable he is. And if you want, come to Discord and we post pictures of our animals, and it's very cute.
Cute. Very cute.
Morty!
It's Morty.
Also,
was it us done then?
Yeah, also Kiwi Burb in the comments. Did you name Morty after the Madagascar ones? Or am I just really into the Madagascar franchise? You can answer. It's no rush. But yes, I believe that is us. Unless there's anything
Morty
else.
the Sloth? No. Is he the sloth?
No, Morty was it was not in the normal one, it was in the King Julian series. Madagascar King Julian. Yeah, see, like I said, I really like the Madagascar. Oh, he's named after your granddad? That's so cute. Okay, I love that. Thank you.
I assume you just said Ice Age, so I just went right over my head. But I have seen, unfortunately, far too much.
Yes, lemur. That's it. Morty was a lemur.
That's right.
Deep cut King Julian law. Yep.
Alrighty, are we ready to
yeah, let's fucking get out of here.
throw us
Get
out of
almost
here?
11?
It is almost 11. We've done a good job, haven't we?
To be fair, have you noticed Pat and Chewie have also been like, we're just a 2-hour show at this point.
Can't help it. I'm sorry. We love you all too much. I hope
Too
you
many
enjoy it.
thoughts. Too much
Too
bullshit.
many thoughts.
Help us settle a debate, whether it be thoughtful or funny, even if we're all creatures of hate. It's a fine line that we're walking together. For better, push aside the temptation to berate. Let's take a note of the corners we stand in. As many points as the hairs on my chinny chin chin. When the news that we're watching is hairy, knowing all the things that we need to be wary of. Like the rich have the hand out for rewards, while the many have to work at what they can't afford. And the rest of us ain't paying attention, or maybe have questions we're too worried to mention. Other media is still dwelling on trivial facts, vetting peas from the rice and the mice from the rats, and picking and choosing a war path to run, and linking ourselves with the hill to die on. It's gotta come down to a welcoming vibe, with an A and a sub and a higher in mind. All heavily, neither this way or that, and will be analyzed by both Chewie and Pat. With the evil in the world trying to mess with your head, and you're sitting on the couch, you're thinking chivalry's dead. Each night, 2 nights, they're gonna sing you to bed. It's Big Hairy News.
Thanks for joining us on this wonderful Friday evening. I hope you enjoyed our commentary and the news and the memes, obviously. Would you enter anything to leave the people with before you head on into this long night?
Well, I was going to show something about the Atlas Network, but that's coming next week. We need to talk more about the Atlas Network, guys. I have been slipping on not mentioning them, so... Atlas
Bring it
Network.
back. It's an old classic.
Right? But yeah, have a good weekend, everyone. Stay safe.
I hope you have a good weekend as well. And Pat and Chewie will be with you on Monday at 9 p.m. and we'll be back next Friday at 9 p.m. for more bright, heady news.
And how's that what's night on Monday?
And that too. Jenny, bye-bye.
Bye.